the next topic is pretty much talking about streaming. And, we've talked about this in the past a handful of times. The take this week is going to be kind of around, obviously, Drake unseating Michael Jackson and the Beatles with new Billboard record. I think has like 9 singles.
No, he has the entire Billboard top 10 singles are Drake songs.
All Drake songs. Okay. And I saw this comment online. We're going to talk about multiple elements of streaming here, but it said, buy an album once and listen to it as much as you want. It's still one unit. Stream that 1,000,000 times and it's platinum. It's not the same. How do you think, how soon, I'm going to say it this way. How soon do you think that we will see a change in how they tally up music? And do you think it would be I guess it probably won't be retroactive, but I think, do you guys think that it needs to change?
I don't think it needs to change. I just think this right now, this is our reality. That streaming is what it is. Nobody sells physical units of anything anymore. But we need to, and I said this a couple weeks ago, maybe it was a week ago. We need to start putting asterisks by people's names if Drake breaks a Michael Jackson record. It's not the same, fam. Like, because if Thriller came out in a streaming era, then all 9 of those songs would be just moving between the top 10 at any given time. Like Michael released 7 singles off of Thriller. He easily at that point, and honestly, if they'd have been counting BDS at that time, and for those of you who don't know what BDS is, it is basically how they count how a song gets played on the radio. They didn't have BDS at the time of Thriller. Probably Lady in My Life would have been the A single to chart because that was a Quiet Storm staple at one point.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, like, you can't say, oh, Drake broke Michael Jackson's record, because Michael Jackson had to put out, and the Beatles had to put out one single at a time.
Yeah.
It had to be consumed. Right. You had to consume things one record at a time, and the record company would be like, okay, this one's got it's getting to its burn stage now. Now is the time for us to release a new video. Let's go ahead and work a new song to radio, and then that song can get on the charts.
Yeah.
There was no having every song on your album chart on the so I think there need to be asterisks, because like,
well, that is a change technically, right?
It's a change, yeah. but like I said, there's a difference in the way technology moves.
You have to make it make sense when you're comparing. We're not comparing apples and apples. You're comparing the famous phrase apples and oranges.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I can have a paid subscription to any service. I might pay $10 a month. I have access to every album under the sun. You know what I'm saying? So that artist is not getting that 10.
Correct.
So if I'm selling you an album, I'm getting that 10 or whatever the percentage is on it, right, whatever the record company took, and
right,
my percentage.
Right.
You're still eating better off that album versus a streaming song. Now,
if it's streamed,
not if it's
purchased.
But then that's not even including when they're selling singles to these songs, because they was dropping the whole album and dropping singles with like instrumentals and B-sides and whatever on it.
Right.
So they're eating off that album more than once, and they're going on tour. Versus now, the money stream isn't as great from the streaming service. They have to tour in order to make this money. Unless
it depends how big you are.
Well, yeah, that's what I was getting to. It depending on how your paperwork is set up and if you own your masters and all that, stuff.
I saw a video where 21 Savage said that he owns 70% of everything, and he actually makes more money off of streaming than he does from touring, which is
incredible.
Which is incredible.
That's the way he structured his deal, though.
A 70% deal is great.
Yeah,
But also, we just have to look at. I don't know. Like, okay, we'll just take it out of the realm of music real quick. When you think about movies, like someone will say, oh, look at all this money so-and-so maybe an Avengers movie made. Okay, it did, but a ticket, the average price of a ticket is $10. All right. And then when you see, oh, it did, it blew Jaws out of the water. You know, no pun intended. But when you was time to go see Jaws, a price of a ticket might have been $1.75, $2.
Right.
So it's almost like you have to do an adjustment for inflation.
Oh, we lost internet. We're still recording though, right?
Yeah, we're still recording.
Okay.
We'll just keep that going. Then when it comes back on, we'll just keep it moving.
Okay, but that's the thing. A lot of times when you see, oh, this is the new box office champion, it is. But when you adjust for inflation, you know, nothing made more money than Star Wars. You know, but of course, a ticket, you know, to see the original Star Wars would have been like
$3
or 75 cents or whatever. I don't know. But like, all I know is, you know, by the time this last Star Wars came out, I had to pay $7 to go see it during the daytime.
during the day. That used to be the evening price.
Yeah.
Evening.
Yeah, I feel like it. I feel like it's. I feel like something needs to change as far. And this is again, if we even care about how we count streams, right? But I honestly don't even know, and it's goes to the fact probably that I don't care as much about like the popularity and how people count how many records. But do you know how they count how many streams equals an album sold and all that stuff? And
I posted. I remember posting it not too long ago. It's something like 1,500 streams equals like a single.
Like, how do you quantify that? Like, how do you,
like, you know, there's
like,
that's been the
it's some
conversation.
it's
how do you
a
what does the stream
ridiculous
say
number.
What's
the
the stream
value of a
worth?
listen?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
and you have somebody has to listen to your record, you know, 7,500 times. Like, and I could be wrong on that number, but it's, and then that equals a record sold.
right.
You know, and I'm like, no, a record sold is still a record sold.
Yeah.
You know, like to say, like, we talk about it. You wouldn't have listened to Drake's album if it weren't for this show. Same thing I sort of felt about Kanye, where like I'd have checked it out, but I was like, all right, let me make sure I listen to every song a couple of times so I have at least some sort of learned experience with it, and I can talk about it intelligently. You know, people didn't listen to records they didn't want to listen to back in the day.
Nah.
Now everybody listens
if it
to
was
everything.
an artist, if it was an artist that you mess with and was a popular artist, people would at least check it out. But I mean,
At the man, or you know what they do? They'd go to those little sound stations at the
Yeah.
They'd listen to it and then be like, "Yeah, I'm not taking this home." But now
one
all-
of their partners got it, and they just borrowed it from them and dubbed a copy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So now, you know, just think every time someone just even if they don't have any real value on it, there are people who will listen to certain songs 3 or 4. But you know, like the top song off that Drake's album is a song called "Too Sexy," which I think is awful. I think it's a terrible record. I understand why it works. When it's in the club. Look,
terrible.
That is the thing. Like, even when I worked in radio, I always said, and I'll repeat this as many times for people who are artists who get to know, who want to know. Don't ask me if I like it. Ask me if I think it'll work. When I heard "Too Sexy," I was like, this is a horrible song, but it's gonna be a hit. And when it came on in the club this past Friday and Saturday, like, it was like cheers of joy. Like, when it didn't work last week, just 7 days ago, people were just like, "Eh." Now that it's actually a hit and it's made its way into the culture a little bit, now you can't get away with not playing that.
People don't even have real fun. That's a true testament of people don't have their own fun. They wait and
They wait
have
for other
fun
people to
and-
like it.
Yeah, other people have to like it first. Then all of a sudden it becomes fun, and then they play with it for a little while and they get rid of it, like one of Andy's toys on Toy Story.
So how do you even like? Okay, so because I was just thinking that, like, how do you even know what's really popular then? If I'm just waiting on you to say it's okay, I don't really like that. You know what I mean? It's like,
No. I see. Once again, and this is the experience I have working in nightclubs. I see how sometimes culture works in real time, because sometimes people get over things quickly, and sometimes this is what I hate is, like, certain songs just live forever. Like, it's so long, where some of these records by, say, Cardi B, like the song she put out Up this past summer, that song still goes in the club, you know. But then there are a couple songs by Megan Thee Stallion. People are like, yeah, we're over it. No, we're done with that. We can see how things move in real time, you know. will this Drake song live in real time? I don't know. Like, it could be big this weekend, but in 2 weeks, people would be like, man, if you play that, we're going to go get a drink. You know what I'm saying? And like, I see how it works. Like, that's why
it's so fickle, and it's so.
That's why I don't look at the charts. I look at the people.
But even with the people, though, here's my argument always with the club is like, even with the people, it's still all biased. It's still all based upon
Do other people like it?
To what other people like. So there's no merit. There's no merit to that. It's like that's why the popularity argument, in my opinion, is always just dumb.
It's just like on social media, if an influencer tells you that this is cool, all of a sudden it's cool. Okay, well, such and such said they like it, so it must be cool. So I must make myself enjoy this.
Yeah, or
at least for the moment.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier. It's like, or whatever's. It just depends. It just depends, like who's pushing it at what point in time. Like, did it get? Is it in the
algorithm?
The algorithm of people that push it. You know what I mean? Like, is it in the system of pushing the product? Like, if it's not, then you're not gonna blow up. It doesn't matter how talented you are.
It's almost like nowadays there's a budget for that.
Yeah.
So let's budget this group of people pushing this, so that even if it's trash, they're going to make people or trick people into thinking that it's actually good. And so it comes across as it worked.
You can only trick people for so long, though.
I don't know.
But
that's true.
But that's
as long as you get a return on your investment, that's all that matters.
You know, because I've seen
it doesn't matter though.
I've seen people turn on songs that they were, that had been bought and paid for, and all of a sudden people are like, I've seen people boo DJs for playing a song like it was a song that worked a week ago, and then the next week they've booed the DJ for playing it.
You actually saw a DJ get booed.
Yeah, hey man, I've been doing this a long time, but yeah.
To your point though, I forgot what I was gonna say. So
no, but look.
It's microwave culture, is what I was.
It's microwave culture, but then again, and
it's just a song. Like, it's a song. If the song sucks, then he'll put out another song tomorrow, and then that song will turn it. I mean, think about this show, right? Think about what we do on this show, and we were talking about a pre-show stuff. Like, we have a full episode that we take all this time to put into and all this stuff, right? We get most of our views and most of our engagements off of 15 to 30 to minute clips. Like, I'm talking like 5,000%. Like it's crazy how like most
people want to get in and get out.
Get in, check it out, and keep it moving. It's just the way. It's just where we're at now.
Because there's so much media,
so much to consume. And I feel like, and to my point, I feel like that's why we kind of have to, if we're gonna continue to make this like a thing, like Billboard records and all this stuff, we have to completely examine what that means, because it's not what it was 20, 30, 40 years ago. And not that it's necessarily a bad thing or anything like that. It's just different.
It was funny. I mean, because I know I use the Michael Jackson analogy as far as him being a pop star. But when we're talking about what he did sales wise, and you're talking about what somebody did in a week, it's almost disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? To say, well, he streamed such and such to so many people, and Michael Jackson only sold. You're saying he only sold
27 million records.
Come on, man. That doesn't even equate. It doesn't make sense for you to talk about someone that, if this album came out at 2:00 in the morning, everybody that has a subscription or not can literally listen to the album right now, versus me having to wait, get up, go to a record store,
put effort into it.
You know what I'm saying? Buy the album. And then it go from there.
Yeah, I put no effort into listening to Donda. I put no effort into listening to Certified.
It's not even the same listening experience, and we've talked about that.
Pretty Lover Boy.
Yeah, Pretty Lover Boy.
But it's like, and we talked about Boosie before, but like when you talk about like a machine that's behind somebody, I don't know if he has a machine at all. But all I know is like Boosie has records that I've never heard on the radio, I've never seen on TV. But if you play Set It Off.
Oh, yeah, it's going up.
That wasn't a single. That wasn't a song that was pushed by anybody. Like, that's just something that is a part of culture.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like they play that at LSU football games.
There's always anomalies, right? There are always going to be the anomaly people, and there's always going to be people that grinded in the underground like that. But
Boosie got like 5 or 6 songs like that. It's just kind of crazy that here's somebody
been
that,
around for years. Though.
He really got more than that.
Yeah,
You
but
being modest.
Here's somebody that really the industry don't want at this point. But
listen, man,
The thing about it is, I mean,
he's
you're
figured out a
You're
way,
talking about
man.
an independent artist, so it doesn't matter if industry wants him or not.
Yeah.
he's gonna
Tech
do
Nine,
whatever he
same
wants to
way.
do.
Yeah, he has his own lane. He
Yeah.
can do whatever he wants. He can say whatever he wants, and he can be upset about whatever he wants, and it's not going to jive any of his fans or
That's why.
numbers.
That's
or
why
anything.
it doesn't matter to him whenever he catches flack in the media
No.
about something he said.
He'll be like, yeah, y'all can
that's
say
not
that,
what
but you know
drives
what?
his-
All these people are telling me that I'm.
Yeah, because
They're rooting
Yeah.
for me.
these are people who were never coming to my shows, who
Exactly.
never bought my records, who don't even really know who I am until I say something that makes them
Yeah,
mad.
and
That's
now
true.
actually it's doing me justice because more people know who I am now.
Facts
Whether
indeed.
you listen to it or not, you know who I
Lemons are
am.
bad.
Yeah, so it just depends on where you want to be in the game.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you've enjoyed this segment of the New Old Heads podcast, make sure you join our live show every Tuesday from 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/newoldheads. You can also catch playback of all of our shows on any podcast app and youtube.com/newoldheadsnetwork. And go to newoldheads.com/community to join our Discord.